Egypt has a queen now. You think that will bring stability over there at last?
Well, it can't hurt. She is said to be greatly beloved by the people.
Well, as long as the grain shipments resume, I guess it's all the same to us. Free medical advice. I am well-trained. Salve, Legate. Welcome back. Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Thank you.
Salve, Domine. How can I be of assistance? My father. He's working inside. Do you need me to get him? One moment.
Legate, it's good to see you out of your uniform again. How is civilian life treating you this time? Indeed I have. My family must eat. She is. She is the youngest of the clutch. I tell her she should find a nice rich patrician boy to marry, but she insists she enjoys helping me sell what I make. It has been better, but it has also been worse. There will always be people in need of horseshoes and only the best things. You are held in great esteem in my household. For you, it would have to be something prestigious. Tell me, have you heard of the very same? You have managed just fine through 2 campaigns without it, but if nothing else, I'd say you've earned the right to wield such a blade. What say you? I can sell you one that you'll be proud to show off. It's a symbol of prestige more than anything. Jewelry for a great soldier. To tell you the truth, I have one almost finished. It was ordered for the scion of another patrician house who was going to be a tribunus under Crassus. The young fool bedded the wrong girl and was stripped of his military commission, and the order was cancelled. If you'll wait for an hour, I will personalize it for you and finish the work. Ah, good, you're back. The Parazonium is finished. I engraved your initials on the hilt and got it nice and sharp for you. A well-tempered and carburized blade, if I do say so myself. In a manner of speaking, as long as the men believe it, they will fight all the fiercer when you are near. It was good to see you again, Legate, but if that'll be all, I must get back to work.
My wife's family dreads the next census. I'm certain they will not be allowed to remain in their current class.
That's right. You told me they had lost their cattle over the winter.
Some kind of disease.
That'll cost you 72 sestertii.
She will be devastated if the censors reduce her father's
days?
standing. Deal.
Awe, thank you for coming. Hopefully this matter will be resolved quickly. An admirable quality fit for a true Roman. This is about your servus, Secundus. It seems that last night he got quite drunk. In his intoxicated state, he got into a fight with another servus.
With all due respect, Domine, that's hardly the most relevant question we can ask here.
On the contrary, it's actually a surprisingly relevant question. Not only did he win, he broke the other man's arm.
Oh.
He's your servus, is he not? His actions fall under your purview and responsibility. It is not my place to tell you how you should handle your servi. I am not a censor. Nevertheless, the punishment of your... There's not much to say. The evidence is irrefutable. The other servus was severely injured, costing his dominus valuable labor. Furthermore, there are criminal charges. This kind of violence is not to be tolerated. The sentence for the first offense will be monetary. In total, this means you will have to pay 200 denarii to the offended dominus and 100 denarii to the state. Do you contest this ruling?
This is ill-advised.
On what basis are you contesting the ruling? Well, it is a relevant question, actually. Witnesses claim there was a heated exchange and some distasteful claims about the profession of your mother. No matter what the reason is, there is loss of labor. Perhaps. Some damage was still caused. There's nothing to be gained by resisting legal institutions. Well spoken. You clearly have a good understanding of how the legal process works. Enough talking. My decision is made. You've made a good case, and your arguments are solid. I can't ignore the damage your service has caused, but you will receive a reduced sentence. This time.
An auction of fine serwi will be held tomorrow by the House of Erasinus. Learned Greeks captured in the war against Mithridates. Strong-backed workers from Hispania and Mauritania. Erasinus has serwi for every budget.
Have a nice day. Domine.
I've taken care of the payment. There's just one more matter we need to address. Secundus himself. An interesting decision. I will see to it that he's trained properly. I certainly wish you had found a less illegal and immoral way to eliminate our chief competitor. But I will accept that this can only be good for business. Kaiser will make a good business partner, I believe. We will supply him well with our finest wine and give him the best possible conditions to succeed.
under the weather, I will attend to your health.
My cousin was at Alexandria, you know, on one of Vitalius' lists.
You look... You've been sleeping poorly.
How did they manage to
Something
take the
wrong?
city?
It's kind
The
of
ships
you to
arrived
ask.
just in the nick of time.
My husband's
Apparently the
fallen ill.
legions were nearly routed.
That's right, you told me last time we met. Has he not improved?
He's only got worse. We had to leave him with the Medici at the clinic.
I'm so sorry. I will pray for him at the Temple of Apollo Medicus tonight.
Finally! Macaster! I was starting to think you wouldn't come.
There he is, the man of the hour.
I need your help. They will kill me. I need someone to defend me at the court tomorrow. It's a long story. What do you want to know? Feels like a lifetime ago. Before I joined the Legion, not by choice, but I was pretty, I guess, and that represented a political opportunity for my father. He never liked the fact that I was interested in men's things. He thought marriage would, in his words, tame me, as if I'm a wild animal needing to be domesticated. It's not that easy. No matter how far I try to run, my past keeps catching up with me. Julius Calidus is a warrior of renown in the Legion, and he has slain countless men. He's a hero. Julia Calida has slain only one man. She is a murderer. He was an extremely controlling man. I couldn't leave the villa except in his company. Everything about how I dressed, who was allowed to visit me, all was decided by him. I couldn't live that way. We fought about it all the time. One of those fights took place atop the grand staircase. It got very... I wish I could tell you he died for a better reason. That he was a criminal, or that it was some grand conspiracy, or even just that he was hitting me. But his cruelty was of a much more insidious sort. And to the people of Rome, this whole thing is their fault. When my brother Aulus finally invited me to dinner, I thought everything was going to be fine. Not exactly. They were setting me up for another marriage. Can you believe it? Everything was fine at first, and Aulus was speaking up for me. Now that my father is dead, he is pater familias, after all. Then suddenly, this ridiculous mule walks in. Burienus Crispus. I didn't even expect that kind of surprise.
That's a common characteristic of surprises.
Rome. Look. I am a murderer. And I thought we were over this with my family, but pretty much. The moment I refused this new marriage they set up for me, Mother turned me in. I barely escaped. Thank you. I hadn't noticed. Any other brilliant observations you want to share with the class?
Your emotions are understandably frayed, Domina. But please do remember who your friends are in this trying time.
There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will try me for the murder of my late husband. I may be sentenced to death. I need Cicero to advocate on my behalf.
Matricide. It's a difficult situation. Was he a particularly cruel man?
Not by Roman standards.
I would certainly not use that line in front of the public. Please answer my question.
He was a bit full of himself, but actually he didn't really do anything bad to me.
He didn't even whip you a little bit?
You think he could have?
Indeed not. A pity. This makes defense difficult. I didn't say that. I welcome the challenge, but you will owe me a great deal. I admire your loyalty. In a few years' time, I plan to run for consul. You will have to contribute a great deal to my campaign to pay me back for this.
Thank you. It would be impossible to repay you, but this means a lot to me. I feel like I'm multiple people in one. Yulia Kalida the warrior, and Yulia Kalida the murderer. I don't really know which one I am, but I can't be both.
We will see what happens. Walete, don't be late tomorrow.
Finally!
There he is.
I need your help. They will kill. It's a long story. Feels like a lifetime ago. Not by choice. He thought marriage would... In his words, it's not. Yulia Kalida has... He was an I couldn't live that way. I wish I could tell you, but his cruelty was of a Rome. Look, it wasn't even the moment I refused this new marriage that I never know what to do when I'm... This whole thing is their fault. Not exactly. Everything was... Then suddenly, this ridiculous mule... I didn't even...
That's a common character.
There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will...
Matricide.
Not by Rome.
I would say...
He was a bit...
He didn't even...
You think...
Indeed not. I didn't say that.
What?
True. Of course, it doesn't matter legally if you're married or not. But correct me if I'm wrong. It's Kalida's family who stands as her accusers. The reason for their outrage doesn't seem to be the untimely death of her late husband, but her refusal to remarry to someone equally wealthy and powerful. If you get married to each other, though, well, you are certainly wealthy and your political star is clearly rising.
This is not the way I imagined you'd ask the question, but, of course I want this.
An unexpected solution to the problem. Congratulations. Have a happy marriage.
Finally!
There he is.
I need your help. It's a long story. This whole thing is their fault. Not exact. Everything... Then suddenly, this... I didn't even...
That's a common character.
Feels like a lifetime. Not by choice. He thought marriage would... It's not that. Yulia Kalida. He was an... I couldn't live that way. I wish I could tell you, but his cruelty was of Rome. Look. Pretty much. The moment I refused this... I never know what to do when I... There will be a hearing tomorrow.
Matricide.
Not...
I would say...
He would...
Indeed not. I didn't say that. I admire...
Thank you.
I do house calls in the evenings.
I will not tolerate these hijinks in my court. Both parties to this case have selected me as your Iudex Privatus. Show some respect, or go find someone else to preside. Is that clear? Let us continue then. To the accused, I pose this question. Why did you kill your husband?
Be very careful, Khalida. I am here to argue on your behalf, but your answers will ultimately determine your fate.
Nevertheless, that was the outcome.
Intentions do matter. Many healers, in trying to cure a sickness, end up killing the patient. Does that mean the healer is a murderer?
What's your point, Senator? Was she trying to heal her husband? Your client isn't known as a healer.
Certainly not. She's one of the most capable warriors of Legio Victrix. We know she is capable of killing a man like her late husband. However, her capabilities alone do not constitute evidence.
Intentions. Very well. Let us assume that death was accidental. Was she loyal to her husband?
Is that why you killed him, dear?
Must we endure constant heckling by the accused's mother?
It almost feels like you want your daughter convicted, Domina. Was it you who called on the court?
It was not. I did. I am the pater familias. And your legatus is using you. What's the difference?
I do not understand exactly how you ended up in the Legion. Are they drafting women now?
He's questioning your character. That was artfully done. You didn't speak an uncomfortable truth, but you also did not lie.
Lucullus was a great imperator. If he picked you, he obviously must have seen something we do not. I think you are a dishonest person by nature, but Lucullus, I would trust even in death. I'm growing tired of this proceeding, and frankly, I've more or less made up my mind. Would the parties please repeat their demands?
We want her executed or exiled for her crimes against our family.
And we want her exonerated and free to walk the streets of Rome. I would ask the honored Iudex to take into consideration that my Cleons was once a friend of your nephew, Julius Caesa.
Very well. Since the incident in question happened years ago, evidence is in short supply. Thus, I must decide based on my own observations. Despite her generally deceptive personality and her unwomanly profession, I have concluded with reasonable certainty that Julia Khalida is not guilty. I have found myself unable to decide without a shadow of a doubt, and doubt should benefit the accused. You are free, Domina.
Congratulations. I believe my work here is done.
You know I had no choice, sister. It was my duty. But despite it all, I am glad you're free. I will try to remember that. Wale, sister.
Do you need me?
Domine.
Excuse me.
Domine?
Free medical advice. I am well trained and highly experienced. Feel under the weather? I will attend to your health.
Domine.
Domine.
Is everything well, dear?
Another round? On me. I insist. Accept it as an expression of my eternal gratitude. Fine, fine. I see there is no budging you. Be careful, though. That wine is sneakier than Calendar. Looks sweet, but hits you when you least expect.
Whose wine did you say this was?
A Carthaginian called Margot wrote it down in his book of recipes. Fantastic stuff. Never knew dry raisins could be this exciting. You think so? Well, it comes with the territory, I guess. Domestic and carefree life adds another kind of weight on your shoulders.
Or your belly.
It's also significantly more difficult than being a Centurio. Especially considering your soldiers are there to die on your command. That's their duty. When it comes to family, your duty is keeping them alive. That's day and night difference right there. It is his kind of place, all right. And this is his kind of wine.
To Dominus Lucullus.
To Lucullus. What was that?
Something serious seems to be happening outside. We'd better take a look.
Let me grab my sword. Gauls are attacking Rome. But that's suicidal.
Dominic, your mother may be in danger. We should check on her. As you wish.
I'll go get my plane.
I never thought this would happen here!
They killed him! Bastards! They killed him!
They're killing everyone! My Jupiter!
Shall not pass!
Let's split up. We'll meet over there.
Did anyone see this? Get anyone! one!
Where are those accursed lictors when you need them? They're all dead!
Scatter before us like headless chickens.
Now do it again! Keep it up! We're beating them! This will do for now!
Moves in this direction.
Dangerous man!
Steady.
Man up! It's barely a scratch!
better now?
Is the consul dead? I've heard the consul is dead.
Which one?
I don't know.
They will burn the entire city down. We should flee to Austria. They killed everyone in Austria.
You made it! I've brought the others.
We cut a sway through the barbarians. None shall stand in our way.
This Serwis is alive!
Domine! Everyone's dead. I couldn't save them. The barbarians were looking for you.
This looks less and less like an unfortunate coincidence.
It seems like these Gauls were deliberately targeted.
I don't know. My knowledge of their language is limited. At least 4. But it happened so fast. She tried to hide in the study. I'm sorry. They were everywhere. We have failed you.
They will pay for this.
It sounds like there are people in the study.
No time to waste!
Domina!
Cowards! Face me!
Didn't see that coming, huh?
Face them with courage! Fight for your lives and your freedom! This is the last one! Keep it slow and steady, people!
Make way! Make way, I said! She lost a lot of blood. It does not look good. We need to keep her warm.
Don't worry about it. By the grace of Wester, they were not even in Rome. There was nothing more we could have done.
You should rest. That's the best thing you can do now.
The Senate is bound to call a meeting. They'll surely declare war. We already have most of the team back together, except for one. Deianira is in the dungeon awaiting her execution. After this attack, I believe we may have the leverage we need to get her out of there. You should go and sort things out before you head to the Senate. We can't be sure we'll get another chance.
They finally let you in. Heard you had been trying to see me. I am where I belong. I have caused much harm. No. Silvius was only one I came for. But it got away from me. He said they were there by own choice. I knew he lied. I thought I was saving them. But they looked at me with exact same fear in their eyes. I hoped this guilt I carry every day would fade when I had vengeance. But still, when I think of her, her name was Tusa. She was 2 years younger than me. She loved horses more than anything else, and they seemed to love her back. She was my best friend. We braided each other's hair and hunted rabbits. We were always competing together against our brothers, and we always won. I have not followed threefold path of Asher. I have spread grief instead of happiness. I have blackened my soul with evil thought and evil deeds. If I stay here and face my execution, maybe I will be redeemed in the eyes of the wise Lord. You think it is like that? A merchant's scale where you can just put down good deeds to weigh up the bad? If only. I know you are trying to help, but I feel that I have been treading water for years. And now I am pulled under. It is not the same. You bear no blame for those you lost. I do. I wanted to go to the Greek city. I wanted wine and spices and beautiful dresses. She was scared, but I told her I would keep her safe. I was eager and naive, and they exploited it. They lured us with pretty promises and tried to force themselves on us. We fought back. I killed one of them. Then Silvius killed Tusa. Every part of it, every single thing that led to her death was my fault. I know what you say is true, but what I feel is different. She would. I would. Of course I would. Maybe you are right. I have atoned enough for my dark deeds. Fine. You are good at this, you know. Let's go.
As per today's augury...
Orcus, take your auguries, Cicero. The Gauls attacked us. Here, in Rome. Do we really need the gods' opinions to decide on today's relatio?
Webius Vitellius Lurco, you will respect the Senate and its procedures.
Then the Senate must respect the people of Rome.
The Senate is the people of Rome.
Our most esteemed senators and officials seem very much alive to my eyes. The same cannot be said for the men and women who were slain in Ostia. My own brother's villa was attacked. He and his wife almost died. Her mother was not as fortunate. Gallic barbarians just marched through the streets of Rome killing noblewomen. Frankly, I have no idea why her brother is keeping silent. I'd be outraged. I am outraged. Our traditions turn us into prey. This attack proves my point. Senators, Romans, we are the sons of wolves. We are proud as we should naturally be. But in our pride, we have grown docile and meek, allowing jackals to attack us without fear. They were laughing. With blood in their eyes, they've slaughtered our own wives and daughters. And what have we done since then? What are we doing now? Nothing. Nothing but endless debates and discussions. I say the time for philosophers is past. Now is the time for warriors. I say we strike now. We shall encircle them like the wolves we are. I say we attack. What say you?
I say cease your populist posturing, Vitellius Lurco. Senators, we are at the heart of our republic, discussing what's perhaps the most important relatio of this age. And you behave like hysterical
And you behave like a spoiled child who is trying to wear his father's sandals.
Do not Test me, Vitellius Lurko. Speak out of turn again, and I shall see you dragged in chains right into the closest dungeon.
Watch and know your words, Cicero. You are speaking to a consul of Rome and the representative of its people.
You are as well. I hold the Imperium. I alone can determine the course of this discussion. Nothing happens without my consent. That is
and
why...
maybe that's why this needs to change.
What?
Citizens, friends, I apologize for my outburst, and I apologize to you, Cicero. I was out of turn indeed.
I'm not sure what you're playing.
It's my frustration talking. Even though I am your co-consul and still new to this world of politics. You are a man of words, Cicero. I believe this crisis we're in requires a man of action. For this reason, I propose, with great humility, that this Senate should consider electing me as dictator until this situation ends. Obviously, we need to act fast. If every decision is to be discussed and approved in the Senate, there is no way we can win this war against the Gauls. They do not have a Senate. We need a commander who's passionate and skillful enough to lead the war effort, swiftly and efficiently.
And that man is you, Lurko?
Vitellius Lurko may be consul, but that doesn't make him a skilled commander of legions. His experience in warcraft is minimal.
I understand your concern. Honestly, I wish I was omnipotent. Then I could bring all of our dead friends back from the depths of Dis. But now, we should focus on preventing more deaths.
And we achieve this by attacking Gallia?
It is difficult for a non-military mind to understand this. War causes death, true. But in this case, it will be to prevent even more death.
When it ends. Preferably sooner than later. But I shall try to achieve a swift victory and subjugate Gallia as soon as possible.
Just like the other campaigns you have led. Oh, wait. There are none. This is unbelievable. The man is clearly trying to manipulate you. I'm all for attacking Gallia, but at least send someone who knows how to fight.
Like you?
Absolutely. Or Cotta, who is an accomplished commander himself. Even Cicero would be a better commander.
Yet instead of fighting, he prefers talking.
I prefer order and respect. Not yelling like spoiled brats. Disrespecting the very core of what makes us Romans.
Oh, come on, Cicero. I'm not in favor of declaring Lurko as dictator, but surely you agree we must act right now.
What if I lead the war together with an experienced commander as my advisor?
And take one of your equally incapable lackeys with you? How would that help?
I shall lead a consular army into Gallia, in command of one half of our military might, while the other half is controlled by someone who has absolutely no reason to like me. What do you say to that, heir of Lucullus? Will you join forces with me? After all, these men are right. I need the support and the experience of a commander as skilled as you. Naturally. You are the more experienced commander after all. Your legions are yours to command. I can tell from your faces no one will oppose this idea.
It sounds like a reasonable compromise. If anyone dislikes Lurko more than Cicero right now, it is this man.
That sounds fine to me. He has proven himself to be a reliable commander.
Sure. What could possibly go wrong?
I can see there is no sense in trying to have a civilized conversation about this. Very well. Have it your way then. But we will not do this like animals. We still have to vote on it. If we execute this plan, it means Vitellius Lurko will be dictator for the duration of the Gallia campaign. More importantly, it means Rome is declaring war on Gallia.
The war has already been declared. We're going to finish it.
All those in favor of this solution to the relatio?
Oh, good. Exactly where I want to be. Surrounded by 6,000 men loyal to our archenemy.
Vitellius Lurco is the consul of Rome. We're safe. At least for now.
The word safe has far too much margin of error to be of comfort.
Awe Legate, Sowete Legionare. The consul was expecting you. Please lay down your weapons before you proceed. They told me you are a bit slow. Very well. What? Let me make one thing clear. I am asking the questions here, not you. Look, dogface. I take my orders from Consul Vitellius. And he tells me you got two options. Do as I say, or be cut down.
I think this is the last of them.
It was all Paenula! What is the meaning of this? How dare they attack a legatus of Rome? This shall be a lesson to those who might be thinking of a similar course of action. Oh well. Let us move to my tent and discuss our situation.
They're a bunch of jaded old men who have no taste for glory any longer. Why would they?
They already fought and bled in 2 campaigns for their beloved legatus. And what do they have to show for it? Not a thing.
First of all, I would like to express how your presence honors me, Legate. These Gallic barbarians are numerous, and you wound me. I know, in the past, we haven't seen eye to eye. That is no secret. But I always felt the animosity between us stemmed from a misunderstanding. Don't forget that you are my brother-in-law. The barbarians tried to kill you. Now, they shall suffer our vengeance. That is what I say indeed. We may not need to find the exact people, for we all know they were Gallic. This was an attack on Rome itself. In other words, the culprit is most likely one of their many chieftains. We merely have to defeat them all. I would never presume to tell you what you should do. You have all the authority over your own legion, just as I have over mine. You are free to execute whatever stratagem you see fit. A challenge. Oh, I like it. Unfortunately, our legions have a problem, and we need to solve that first. Commanding a massive consular army is comforting, but it also means we'll have to feed our legionari. And let me tell you, Legate, we don't have enough food. Price we pay for mobilizing fast. As such, we will have to strike a deal with the local tribes sympathetic to our cause. A couple of chieftains agreed to... You are a great warrior, there's no doubt about that. Navigating the treacherous waters of Gallic politics may require more tact, however. You will take the lead, of course. I shall only provide counsel and support. Most certainly. This land is infested with numerous tribes, each ruled by the wealthiest and most powerful men. They rarely come together under one banner. They are called Duatiacus and Dumnorix. Such arrogant names. One of the chieftains specifically requested your presence. Suspicious, I know. I say, let us humor them and give them what they desire. At least, for now. Very well. I have the utmost confidence in your abilities. Do not disappoint me. Salve, Legate. How can I help you? Why do we ever do the things we do? For the glory and security of Rome. What else? They are under pressure from constant raids by the Germanic tribes east of the river Rhenus. In Latium, they see a land of plenty, far removed from their even more barbaric enemy. It was only a matter of time before they decided to leave their own lands and seek to take ours. But they made a mistake by trying to assassinate a high-ranking official such as you. Our vengeance will be terrible and swift. I have nothing but confidence in your abilities, Legate. It's just that this is the first time we're fighting against an organized enemy such as Gallia. We should not take any risk. We need our best commanders in the field, don't we? Thank you. Salve, Legate.